Welcome again. Today, we're going to learn about nouns and different types of nouns. So let us see, what is a noun? A noun is a word that names a person, place, animal, thing, or idea. It's a basic building block of sentences. In every English sentence, there must be a subject, and most often, that subject is a noun. Let's look at some examples. Person. Examples are teacher, doctor. Place. Examples are school, park. Animal. Examples are cat, elephant. Thing. Examples are chair, pen. Idea. Examples are love, honesty. Nouns are everywhere in language, and understanding them is the first step to mastering English grammar. Let's get started. Let's see types of nouns. There are several categories of nouns in English grammar. These include common nouns, proper nouns, concrete nouns, abstract nouns, countable nouns, uncountable nouns, collective nouns, compound nouns, possessive nouns, regular and irregular plural nouns. Next, we will see each one in detail. Let's look at the first type, common nouns. Common nouns are the names of general people, places, animals, or things. They do not name any one person, place, or thing in particular. Common nouns are not capitalized unless they come at the beginning of a sentence. Now, let's look at some examples of common nouns that refer to people. Mother. My mother is baking a cake. Here, the word mother refers to a general person, not a specific name. Father. His father goes to work early. Father is a common noun because it's not a specific person's name. Brother. The brother built a model rocket. We are talking about a brother, but not mentioning his name, so it's common. Girl. The girls sang beautifully at the event. Girl is a general term, so it's a common noun. Grandfather. His grandfather walks every morning. Again, grandfather is used as a general relationship, not a specific name. Teenager. The teenager rode a bicycle to school. Teenager is a general word for a young person. Tween. The tween is excited for her birthday. Tween is also a common noun. It refers to a child between about 9 and 12 years old. These are all examples of common nouns because they name general people, not specific ones. Now let's look at examples of common nouns that name animals. Dog. The dog barked at the stranger. Here, dog refers to any dog in general, not a specific one, so it's a common noun. Cat. A cat crossed the road. Cat is a general term and does not refer to a specific pet or breed, making it a common noun. Bear. The bear was searching for food in the forest. Again, bear is used in a general sense, not naming any particular bear. All of these are common nouns because they refer to general animals, not specific ones. Now let's look at some examples of common nouns that name things. Jacket. I bought a new jacket yesterday. Here, jacket is a general item of clothing. It's not a specific brand or name, so it's a common noun. Television. We watched a movie on the television. Television refers to the device in general, not a particular brand or model. Boots. Her boots are covered in mud. The word boots is used generally to describe a type of footwear, so it's also a common noun. All these words are common nouns because they refer to general objects, not specific ones. Now let's talk about proper nouns. A proper noun is the specific name of a person, place, animal, or thing. Unlike common nouns, proper nouns always begin with a capital letter, no matter where they appear in the sentence. They point to one unique person, place, or item, rather than something general. We will look at several examples next to clearly understand how proper nouns are used in real sentences. Let's now look at some examples of proper nouns used in sentences. Ria is reading a novel. Ria is the specific name of a person. We visited the Statue of Liberty last summer. Statue of Liberty is the specific name of a monument. Note, Statue of Liberty must be capitalized. Charlie is my pet rabbit. Charlie is the specific name of a pet. India celebrates Independence Day on August 15th. India is the specific name of a country. My brother studies at National Public School. National Public School is the name of a specific school. They are flying to Dubai next week. Dubai is the name of a specific city. Mr. Luke Daines teaches us science. Mr. Luke Daines is the full name of a specific person. Google is the most used search engine. Google is the name of a specific company. We celebrated Diwali with lights and sweets. Diwali is the name of a specific festival. Now let's understand concrete nouns. A concrete noun refers to something physical, something that can be seen, touched, smelled, heard, or tasted. In simple words, it exists in the real world. Concrete nouns are material things that we can experience using our five senses. For example, objects like a book, dog, or apple. We can see them, touch them, and interact with them. That's why they are called concrete nouns. Let's look at some examples of concrete nouns used in sentences. Apple. I ate a juicy apple. Dog. The dog barked at the stranger. Cake. The cake smells delicious. Music. I love listening to soft music. Chair. He broke the wooden chair. Book. She kept the book on the table. Doorbell. I heard the doorbell ring. Baby. The baby is crying. Each of these nouns names something we can experience through our senses. That's what makes them concrete. Now let's understand abstract nouns. Abstract nouns are the opposite of concrete nouns. They name things we cannot touch, see, hear, smell, or taste. They refer to ideas, qualities, emotions, or concepts, things that are not physically present but can be felt or understood. Words like honesty, bravery, love, and freedom are examples of abstract nouns. They exist in our minds or emotions, not in the material world. Let's see some examples of abstract nouns in sentences. Love is the greatest gift of all. Love is a feeling. Every citizen values freedom. Freedom is an idea. True happiness comes from within. Happiness is a feeling. The soldier showed great bravery. Bravery is a quality. Justice must be served. Justice is a concept. The king ruled with wisdom. Wisdom is a quality. Honesty is the best policy. Honesty is a value. Their friendship lasted for years. Friendship is a relationship. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is what we know. A little kindness goes a long way. Kindness is a way of behaving. Each of these nouns names something we cannot see, touch, hear, taste, or smell. That's what makes them abstract. They describe feelings, ideas, qualities, and experiences, not physical things. Countable nouns are nouns that can be counted. You can use numbers with them, like 1, 2, or 10. They have singular and plural forms. You can also use quantifiers like a, an, many, few, several, or a dozen with them. For example, 1 apple, 2 apples, a book, an egg, many pencils, a few oranges. They answer the question, how many? So if you can count it, it's a countable noun. Let's look at some examples of countable nouns in sentences. Apple. I ate 2 juicy apples. We can count apples, so it's a countable noun. Book. She read a book every week. Books can be counted. 1 book, 2 books. Pen. I lost 3 pens today. 3 pens tells us exactly how many. Egg. I bought a dozen eggs from the market. A dozen means 12. Eggs are countable. Aeroplane. We saw an aeroplane in the sky. You can count airplanes too. 1, 2, many. Bottle. He drank 2 bottles of water. Here, 2 bottles shows quantity. Cupcake. She baked 5 cupcakes for the party. Cupcakes are clearly countable. Chair. They arranged 8 chairs in a circle. 8 chairs gives an exact number. Each of these nouns can be counted, so they are all countable nouns. Uncountable nouns are nouns that cannot be counted individually. They usually do not have plural forms and are treated as singular in sentences. These nouns often refer to substances, like water, milk, or sugar, feelings, like happiness or anger, ideas, such as knowledge or advice, weather elements like rain or fog. Now, here are some key rules to remember. You cannot make uncountable nouns plural. For example, sugars or waters. These are incorrect in general usage. Instead, use quantifiers like some, a lot of, much, a piece of, a bottle of, or a cup of. Uncountable nouns often represent abstract ideas or mass materials, and we understand them as wholes, not individual units. Let's look at some examples of uncountable nouns in sentences. Please drink some water. Here, water is the uncountable noun. He cooked a bowl of rice for lunch. Rice is the uncountable noun in this sentence. Don't add too much sugar to your tea. Sugar is the uncountable noun. She drinks a glass of milk every day. The uncountable noun is milk. I have lots of homework today. Homework is the uncountable noun here. Reading gives us knowledge. The word knowledge is an abstract, uncountable noun. The weather is quite gloomy today. In this sentence, weather is the uncountable noun. She gave me useful advice on studying. Advice is the uncountable noun in this sentence. Each of these nouns refers to something that cannot be counted individually, and they are always used in the singular form. Let us learn about collective noun. A collective noun is a naming word that refers to a group of people, animals, or things considered as a single unit. These nouns help us talk about many members of a group, all together as one. Let's see some examples of collective nouns used for groups of people. A band of musicians played at the event. Band refers to a group of people who perform music together. The board of directors met yesterday. Board is used for a group of decision makers or leaders in a company. A crew of sailors sailed the ship. Crew refers to a team of people working on a ship. A company of actors performed the play. Company is used to refer to a group of people acting in a drama or play. All these are examples of collective nouns that name groups of people acting as one unit. Collective nouns used for groups of animals. A pride of lions rested in the shade. Pride is used to describe a group of lions. A flock of sheep grazed in the field. Flock refers to a group of sheep or birds. A herd of elephants crossed the river. Herd is used for large animals like elephants or cattle. A swarm of bees buzzed around the hive. Swarm describes a large group of insects. especially bees. Each of these words refers to a group of animals considered as one unit. Examples of things or objects. I bought a new pair of shoes. Pair is used for two matching items that go together, like shoes. We trekked along a chain of mountains. Chain refers to a connected line of mountains. A fleet of ships arrived at the harbor. Fleet means a group of ships or vehicles moving together. She gave me a bunch of grapes. Bunch is used for tightly grouped items, like grapes or flowers. These collective nouns describe groups of things acting as one unit. Let's learn about compound nouns. A compound noun is formed when two or more words are joined together to create a new noun with a specific meaning. There are three types of compound nouns based on how they are written. Closed form. These are written as one word. Example, toothpaste, bedroom. Hyphenated form. These are connected with hyphens. Example, mother-in-law. Open form. These are written as two separate words, but they work as a single noun. Example, bus stop, post office. So, compound nouns may look different, but they always function as a single noun with a clear meaning. Let's look at some examples of compound nouns used in sentences. I bought toothpaste from the store. Toothpaste is a closed compound noun. My mother-in-law is visiting us this weekend. Mother-in-law is a hyphenated compound noun. He plays basketball every evening. Basketball is a closed compound noun. She cleaned her bedroom before guests arrived. Bedroom is another example of a closed form. The firefly glowed in the dark. Firefly is also a closed compound noun. I waited at the bus stop for 20 minutes. Bus stop is an open compound noun. He works at the post office. Post office is another open form compound noun. The smartphone camera takes great photos. Smartphone camera is a compound noun in open form. All these compound nouns are made by combining words to give new and specific meanings. Let's now learn about singular and plural nouns. A singular noun refers to just one person, place, animal, or thing. A plural noun refers to more than one. Here are some examples. Two little boys are playing outside. Boys is the plural form, and it comes from the singular noun boy. The girls are singing together. Girls is the plural formed from the singular noun girl. She borrowed 3 books from the library. Books is the plural, and its singular form is book. I packed 5 apples for the picnic. Apples is the plural form of the word apple. The sparrows are chirping on the tree. Sparrows is the plural, and sparrow is its singular form. We stored the toys in big boxes. Boxes is the plural of the singular noun box. We saw a group of deer in the forest. Deer is a special noun. It stays the same in both singular and plural form. So remember, singular means one. Plural means more than one. There are 2 main types of plural nouns. Regular plural nouns. These nouns form their plural by simply adding s or es to the singular form. For example, cars, books, boxes, dogs, and pens. Irregular plural nouns. These nouns do not follow the usual rules for forming plurals. Their spelling often changes completely. For example, men, women, children, feet, and teeth. Let's explore each type with examples. Now let's look at some irregular plural nouns. These nouns do not follow the regular rules like adding s or es. Instead, their spelling changes completely, or sometimes not at all. Let's go through some examples. Man becomes men. The men are working on the construction site. Woman becomes women. The women are attending a workshop. Child becomes children. The children are playing in the garden. Foot becomes feet. I washed my feet after walking barefoot. Tooth becomes teeth. Brush your teeth twice a day. Mouse becomes mice. The mice ran across the floor. Now some nouns have no change in their plural form. Sheep stays sheep. The sheep are grazing in the field. Deer stays deer. We spotted 5 deer in the forest. Fish often stays fish. We caught many fish in the pond. Remember, irregular plurals must be memorized. They don't follow standard rules. Let's look at some examples of regular plural nouns in sentences. We saw many cars on the road. Here, cars is the plural form of the word car. We simply added s. I read 5 books last month. In this sentence, books is the plural of book made by adding s. She packed all her toys in boxes. The word boxes is the plural of box. Since box ends in x, we add es to form the plural. The dogs are barking loudly. Dogs is the plural of dog. Again, just add s. He bought new pens from the store. Pens is the plural of pen. It follows the regular rule by adding s. These are all examples of regular plural nouns. They follow a predictable rule of adding s or es to form the plural. Now let's look at some important rules to form plural nouns. Rule 1. Add s to most nouns. Example, pen becomes pens. Rule 2. Add es to nouns that end in s, x, z, sh, or ch. Examples, box becomes boxes, brush becomes brushes. Rule 3. If a noun ends in a consonant plus y, change y to ies. Example, baby becomes babies. Rule 4. If a noun ends in f or fe, change it to ves. Example, knife becomes knives. Rule 5. Some nouns have irregular plural forms. They change spelling. Example, man becomes men. Child becomes children. Rule 6. Some nouns have no change in the plural form. Example, deer stays deer. Sheep stays sheep. These rules help us form plurals correctly in most cases. Let's understand what a consonant is. A consonant is any letter in the alphabet that is not a vowel. Vowels are a, e, I, o, u. All the other letters like b, c, d, f, g, and so on are called consonants. Now, why does this matter in plural rules? If a noun ends with a consonant followed by y, we change the y to ies to make it plural. For example, baby becomes babies because b is a consonant. But if a noun ends with a vowel followed by y, we simply add s. For example, boy becomes boys because o is a vowel. So always check the letter before y. If it's a consonant, change y to ies. If it's a vowel, just add s. Let's explore the different types of noun gender with examples. Masculine gender. Masculine nouns refer to male persons or animals. For example, man, boy, king, uncle, lion. Sentence, the boy played with his friends. Feminine gender. Feminine nouns refer to female persons or animals. For example, woman, girl, queen, ant, lioness. Sentence, the queen addressed her people. Common gender. Common nouns refer to either males or females. They are gender neutral. For example, teacher, student, child, doctor. Sentence, The doctor treated the patient kindly. Neuter gender. Neuter nouns refer to non-living things or objects without any gender. For example, table, mobile, book, pen, idea. Sentence. The mobile was lying on the table. These four categories help us understand how gender is expressed in English nouns. Let's look at how pronouns are used based on the gender of a noun. Masculine gender. For a noun like man, we use the pronouns he or his. Example, the man lost his watch, but he found it later. Feminine gender. For a noun like woman, we use she or her. Example, the woman took her bag and left. Neuter gender. For non-living things like book, we use it or its. Example, the book is popular for its story. It is a bestseller. These pronouns match the gender of the noun and help avoid repetition. Let's learn about noun cases in English. A noun case shows the function or job of a noun in a sentence. There are 5 main cases you should know. Subjective case. This is when the noun is the subject, the one doing the action. For example, Emma writes stories. Here, Emma is the subject doing the action. 2. Objective case. This is when the noun receives the action. It's the object. For example, I met James. James is the one being met. He's the object. 3. Dative case. This case is for indirect objects, people who receive something. For example, Lily gave Noah a gift. Noah is receiving the gift, so he is the indirect object. 4. Possessive case. This case shows ownership or relationship. For example, this is Mia's notebook. The notebook belongs to Mia. 5. Vocative case. This is used when calling someone by name or speaking directly to them. For example, Oliver, please sit down. Here, we are speaking to Oliver. That's the vocative case. So, noun cases help us understand how nouns work in different ways in a sentence. When nouns become subjects, what does that really mean? A noun becomes the subject when it tells who or what the sentence is about. It is the person, animal, thing, or idea that does something in the sentence. For example, in the sentence Emma plays the piano, Emma is the one doing the action, so Emma is the subject. Just remember, the subject is the doer of the action. And here's a tip. Even though it's still a noun, when it performs the action, we call it the subject in grammar. Let's look at a few examples. Emma plays football. Here, Emma is doing the action, so Emma is the subject. The pencil is on the table. This sentence is about the pencil. That makes it the subject. Kindness matters a lot. The noun kindness is the idea being talked about, so it's the subject. Tigers live in the jungle. Tigers are doing the action of living. That's why it's the subject. In summary, a subject noun is the main topic of the sentence. It answers the question who or what, and it is always connected to a verb, whether it's an action or a linking verb. Tip: to find the subject, ask yourself, who or what is doing something in the sentence? That's your subject. Let's learn what happens when nouns become objects. A noun becomes an object when it receives the action in a sentence, not when it does the action. There are 2 types of objects. 1. Direct object. This is the noun that receives the action directly. For example, she read a book. Here, book is the direct object. It receives the action of reading. 2. Indirect object. This noun receives the direct object. It answers the question, to whom or for whom. For example, she gave her brother a gift. Here, gift is the direct object, what was given. Her brother is the indirect object, the one who received the gift. Let's take a look at direct objects. A direct object answers the question what or whom right after the verb. It tells us what is being acted upon in the sentence. Let's see some examples. She read a book. Ask, what did she read? Answer, book. So book is the direct object. He kicked the ball. What did he kick? Ball. The action is done to the ball, so it's the direct object. They watched a movie. What did they watch? Movie is the direct object because it receives the action of watching. Quick tip: the direct object usually comes right after the verb in a sentence. Now let's talk about indirect objects. An indirect object is the noun that receives the direct object. It tells us to whom or for whom the action is done. Sentence structure: subject plus verb plus indirect object plus direct object. Clue: ask to whom or for whom after the verb to find the indirect object. Let's look at a few examples. I gave Emma a gift. What did I give? A gift. That's the direct object. To whom? To Emma. So Emma is the indirect object. She baked her brother a cake. What did she bake? A cake. Direct object. For whom? For her brother. That's the indirect object. We sent our friend a postcard. What did we send? A postcard. Direct object. To whom? Our friend. Indirect object. He made his mom breakfast. What did he make? Breakfast. Direct object. For whom? His mom. Indirect object. Remember, the indirect object comes before the direct object and tells who benefits from the action. Let's learn about possessive nouns, how we show ownership in English. A possessive noun tells us that something belongs to someone or something. First, let's look at singular possessive nouns. To show possession for one person, animal, or thing, we add apostrophe plus s. Here are some examples. The dog's toy is dirty. That means the toy belongs to one dog. The boy's sandwich fell. The sandwich belongs to one boy. The teacher's bag is on the desk. So the bag belongs to one teacher. Just remember, add s to a singular noun to show that it owns something. Now let's talk about plural possessive nouns, how to show ownership when there's more than one person or thing. Definition: a plural possessive noun shows that something belongs to more than one person, animal, or object. Rule: if the plural noun already ends in s, simply add an apostrophe after the s. These nouns answer the question, whose. Let's see some examples. The girl's shoes are pink. This means the shoes belong to multiple girls. The dog's leashes are tangled, so the leashes belong to several dogs. The teacher's lounge is closed. That means the lounge belongs to multiple teachers. Just remember, if the plural noun ends in s, don't add another s, just put the apostrophe after it. Let's now look at irregular plural possessive nouns. These are plural nouns that do not end in s, like women, men, and children. Rule here is, since these words don't end in s, we add apostrophe s to show possession, just like we do with singular nouns. Examples: the women's room is on the left. Here, women's shows that the room belongs to several women. The men's jackets are here. This means the jackets belong to a group of men. The children's toys are everywhere. So, the toys belong to multiple children. Tip: if a plural noun is irregular and doesn't end in S, always use apostrophe S to make it possessive. Let's talk about the possessive case. The possessive case refers to the grammatical role a noun plays when it shows ownership or a relationship in a sentence. In simple words, it tells us who something belongs to. For example, Emily's dress is beautiful. Here, the word Emily's is in the possessive case because it shows who owns the dress. So anytime a noun shows possession or connection, it's said to be in the possessive case. Now let's understand what a possessive noun is. A possessive noun is the actual word that shows who or what owns something. It's the noun that performs the possessive function in the sentence. For example, children's toys. The toys belong to the children. Dog's bone. The bone belongs to the dog. Men's shoes. The shoes belong to the men. In each case, the possessive noun tells us who owns the object. Just remember, possessive case is the function, and the possessive noun is the word doing that function. Let's quickly review everything we've learned about nouns. What is a noun? A noun is a word that names a person, place, animal, thing, or idea. Examples include teacher, school, elephant, truth. Types of nouns. Nouns are divided into different types. These include common, proper, concrete, abstract, countable, uncountable, collective, and more. Common nouns. These are general names, not specific. For example, girl, dog, city. Proper nouns. These are specific names and always begin with a capital letter. Examples: Ria, India, Google. Concrete nouns. These refer to things you can see, touch, hear, smell, or taste. Examples: apple, music, chair. Abstract nouns. These are ideas or feelings. They are not physical. Examples: love, honesty, freedom. Countable nouns. These nouns can be counted, may have singular and plural forms. Examples: book, books, pen, pens. Uncountable nouns. These cannot be counted individually. They usually don't have a plural form. Examples: water, rice, advice. Collective nouns. These refer to a group of people, animals, or things, seen as one unit. Examples: team, family, flock. Compound nouns. These are made by joining two or more words to form a single noun. Examples include toothpaste, mother-in-law, post office. Plural nouns, regular and irregular. Plural nouns show more than one. Regular plurals are formed by adding s or es, like dogs and boxes. Irregular plurals change spelling or stay the same, like children and feet. Noun gender. Nouns can show gender and are divided into 4 types. Masculine, like boy or king. Feminine, like girl or queen. Common, like teacher or student. Neuter, like table or pen. Noun cases. This tells us how the noun works in the sentence. There are 5 main cases. Subjective, when the noun is doing the action. Objective, when it receives the action. Dative, when it receives the object indirectly. Possessive, when it shows ownership. Vocative, when the noun is being addressed directly. For example, Sam runs. Subject: I saw Sam. Object: Sam's bag. Possessive. When nouns become subjects, a noun becomes the subject when it does the action or is the main focus. Example: Emma reads. Emma is the subject. When nouns become objects, Objects receive the action in a sentence. Direct objects answer what or whom. Indirect objects answer to whom or for whom. Example: she gave John a gift. Gift is the direct object. John is the indirect object. Possessive case. This is a grammatical role showing ownership, relationship, or connection. For example, Ravi's pen, children's toys, dog's leashes. Possessive nouns. These are the actual words that show who something belongs to. We add s or just an apostrophe at the end. Examples: dog's bone, girl's bags, children's toys. 4. That wraps up our full summary of nouns, from their types to their roles and special cases. Now you have a complete picture of how nouns work in English. Now it's your turn. Can you write one example of each type of noun? Share it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more simple English lessons.